UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. Yes, indeed. You're listening to UPRNTalkRadio.com. Welcome to the show. I do hope you guys can all hear me well. And I'm going to turn up my monitoring so I can hear myself. And that's why it sounds like I'm blooming shouting. So welcome to the show. Here we are, Spirit Quest. Julie Sharp's already in the room. Wow, Julie's in the house. Good evening, Julie. Welcome to the show. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and join me here live. So, Spirit Quest, and first of all, let me just take the opportunity to say thank you so very much for all you guys continuing to send me wonderful messages in relation to the wedding of my beautiful daughter to Joel. So, Rosie and Joel are very happy at the minute. They're on their honeymoon and sending pictures back. Isn't that amazing with the technology we have these days? They're sending pictures back immediately of their honeymoon. Do you remember in the old days when you used to have to wait? Wait, till the honeymoon was over, had your pictures developed, and then off you went from there. Facebook user, I'm so sorry, but I have no idea who you are. But this is what I've got. This is, as you can see right along here, Facebook user. I have no idea who you are, but thank you. Thank you nonetheless for being here. I keep saying, guys, come out of Facebook. Come off Facebook. It's crap. Go on to YouTube and join us via the link on YouTube. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you the link right now. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to post it here. Where is it? Is it Control V? There we go. That's the link that I'm just sticking up now for YouTube show. So come off Facebook, click on there on that link I've just put up over that way. Yeah, click on that link I've just literally put on there and come and join us on YouTube. When you get onto YouTube, if you haven't already subscribe, and don't forget, listen guys, if you're watching me already on YouTube, thank you. But don't forget, hit the like button, smash that like button for me. Let's go, break it if you want. I don't care. Go for it. So Faye's joined us. Hey, Paul, I've shared the show. Hi, Hon, was looking at the wedding festivities. Your daughter looked fine. I have no idea who you are. So thank you for looking at the wedding stuff. Thank you so very much. I'd love to say who you are, but Facebook. Dawn Hatton, evening peeps. Nice Indian feel to your shirt. Native American, you had the eagle. It's the eagle. The eagle has landed. Thank you very much, Dawn. Thank you for noticing. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Kelly Duran says, hi, Paul. Kelly, welcome to the show, my love. Good to see you. Once again, don't know how you are. Welcome to the show, nonetheless. It's Kathy Graham. Kathy, get off of that silly, stupid Facebook and come and join us on YouTube. Lynn's joined us. Good evening, wonderful. Good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Ronnie's joined us. Good evening, Ronnie. Roger's joined us. ¿Cómo está? Right down to showing your age there, Paul. It made me laugh. Remember waiting for pictures to be developed. Actually, hey, listen, Jules. At Rosie's wedding, my son's girlfriend was taking photographs on a digital camera, and she was actually filming on Super 8 film. Okay, one of those old school like handheld cameras. So she works alongside the BBC. So I can't wait to see what she's got. To be honest with you, I can imagine some of the old school stuff is actually going to be quite cool. Julie Sharp, yeah, going on. Thanks, Shulnia. Hello, Angel. Hello, Angel. Hi, welcome to the show. I don't know who you are, but I don't really want to say that name out loud. Leonie Rose, hi, hon. It was me asking a bit. Leonie Rose, there you go. Your daughter looks stunning. Thank you, Leonie. Don't forget, Leonie, now that you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Just click on the subscribe button, then hit that like button. And don't forget to hit the little bell icon as well, because every time we release a show, you'll be told in advance now that there's a show coming out, and you won't have to mess about with Facebook anymore. It'll tell you straight away, oh, by the way, Paul's show is coming out. Click on it here, and boom, you'll be straight into the show. So subscribe, click the bell icon, and like the show. Click the little thumbs up. Okay, don't forget to do that. Kathy Graham, God knows who that name is. Kathy Graham. Kathy Graham's a good friend of mine. I don't know. Kathy Graham? She's a good pal of mine. Alison Turnbull's joined us. Alison, good evening. I just saw Kathy Graham's name. Where did I see it? Yeah, there. Kathy Graham. All right. There she is. We had those disposable cameras at our wedding, and we had them all developed in boots. So many random pics of the day, even a random man in just a towel. I'm, yeah. It wasn't me. Hi, folks. Could you go to YouTube and type in Paul Francis Medium? Oh, Lynn, why you? Lynn, I'm gone a bit tad confused. Hi, folks. Could you go to the YouTube and type in Paul Francis Medium? Subscribe, hit the bell about everything I've just said. But you're on Facebook. Think about it. Anyway, think about it. Think about it, Lynn. You're on Facebook. So you're telling everybody to go onto YouTube when you're from Facebook, which is brilliant, and that's exactly what we want to do. And by the way, you can see, look, that's all that. See all that. That's all from the wedding day. Cooked I was, okay. And this makes my hair look really weird. So you can see, look, and I don't care about my appearances. Okay. What day is this? Thursday, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday was the last day I had a shave. So I'm just giving myself a break. I've been so wound up getting ready for this wedding. It was just untrue. Amanda's in the house. Hi, Amanda. Welcome to the show, darling. Good to see you. Amanda, come out of Facebook. Come out of Facebook and go into YouTube. It's better. It's far stable, because in about 10, 15 minutes on YouTube, sorry, let me say that again. In about 10 or 15 minutes on Facebook, they'll kick you off. Okay, because Facebook is like that. So anyway, welcome all to the show. I don't know who. Sorry, who is this? Am I getting this wrong? Who's that, please? SHIT bro. I wonder who that is. Could you please tell me who you are? Never lets me go onto YouTube. That's weird. See, if you go scroll up, Amanda, you'll be able to see a link that I've put up on there. Just click on that link. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just go on to. Okay, there you are. Let me go on to here and do that. There you go. Have a look in your messenger, Amanda, and that should actually help you. So anyway, I have a lot of space, a lot of time for a lot of people. I have no space or time for idiots. So I don't have enough time left in my work in my life to waste upon idiots. So let's have a look at something. I had a question all lined up for you guys tonight. Anyway, so I was briefly on. Oh, Roger and Faye. Oh my God, I wanted to talk to you guys. I was so tired yesterday that I went to bed. I was so tired. I went to bed early. Okay, and as I hopped onto my bed, I noticed on Facebook that Roger and Faye's show was on. The link came up, sorry, and said YouTube link, blah blah blah. Click and said hello to a few guys, and then next thing I was out cold. I was literally out cold. I literally went out like that, and I missed your show. So my deepest apologies. I was saying hi to everybody, and then I was just out. So it all caught up with me yesterday. So wiped out. So Emma Lorm has joined us. Emma, good evening, my darling. Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, what we're going to do here is Okay, we're gonna do that. I was trying to help everybody to get over to YouTube. Okay, Lynn, you fell asleep to Roger's voice. Not at all, not at all. Roger has an amazing voice, and he was on. He was right on fire last night. He was full of the joys of spring, and he was going well. I was just fighting tiredness. Because when you've been, when you're getting ready, when you know something is as important as giving your daughter away is coming up, and you're building up and up, and you build and you build and you build to the point where it's so tiring, and it just you go past that tiredness. It catches up with you, and it caught up with me. I'm really tired today, says Dawn. Unusual for me that the energies are zapping us at the moment. Not I don't. I'm not feeling zapped by energies, honestly, Dawn. To be perfectly honest with you, I really am. I'm just tired of the build up. No, that build up's like build up to Christmas. You know, so I just get wiped out. Oh, Lynn had a touch of food poisoning. I'm so very sorry to hear that, Lynn. And we'll focus on some energies on for you to try and settle you now and help you. Thank you very much for. If you're not well, then just it's not a sin to miss a show or two. If you're not well, you're not well. And the amount of times that I've had to back out for multiples of reasons, some of them being unwell myself. So if you're not well, just chill out, take the time out, go to bed, replenish yourself with plenty of fluids, and just go easy. Um, Not sleeping well at the moment. I never have a problem. I'm not sleeping well at the moment, and I never have a problem with that. Says Artrude. The heat's probably gonna. I mean, I noticed our new pups. That's our pups. Our pups are huge. Our pups standing up already come right up to my waist, and they're puppies. The heat is really knocking them on their back ends at the minute. It's making them tired, and they're panting a lot. Obviously, trying to stay cool. And instead of drinking their bowls of water, they go and dance in it. But I do know that dogs regulate their heat, their temperature through their pads. So that's probably why they stick their little pads into the water to try and cool them down. It's very interesting to watch. They're very, very clever. We bought this doggy pond pool thing that sprinkles water up. So we might put that up tomorrow night, and put it in the garden. So if they get too much, they can just go and jump and lie in it or something. But we have to think about them two little boys as well. Holly's fine. This is nothing to Holly. She just lies down in the shade and she's out cold. So Faye says that pups are adorable. I love the shepherds. Yeah, they are. They're amazing. They're amazing dogs. They're very, very loving, very, very loving. They want to let you know that they really, really love you. And they come up to you, and they'll walk in between my legs and stuff. I mean, it can be a pain in the arse because they want to lie along the bottom of the door. So if you want to go into the kitchen, for an example, because the kitchen's got a hard floor, they tend to go in there, but they lie against the door because there's a draft coming under the door. But you go to open the door, and there's a big hefty dog behind it, so you gotta like push, but you gotta push forcefully, but at the same time really gently, because you don't want to hurt them, of course. And they won't get out of the way. They just look at you and go, "What?" I put bath towels in the freezer and put them out for the dogs. So that's a good idea, Donna. Actually, I saw a couple of these gel things that are designed specifically for keeping dogs cool. So I might pick up a couple of those over the weekend. Welcome to Spirit Quest. If you have just joined us, of course, you're listening to me in 105.3 and 10 to 107.7 FM, coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans from the network of UPRN Talk Radio. I am Paul Francis. I'm your host, and the whole concept of Spirit Quest is the journey of life. It's all about that. I have a brick wall of a Rottweiler. He's my shadow. I love the sunshine, and it makes I make him gravy lollies. Ah, that's a cool idea. Um, okay. Seeing your pups brings back wonderful memories of the four German shepherds that we had, two male, two females. Okay, that's good. And as long as it brings back happy memories, that's really kind of important. It's really good, you know. I mean, I saw a memory come up today on Facebook. I was just talking about that earlier. The of my little Brewster. That came up, and every time it comes up, I feel sadness come over me because Brewster threw himself in front of a car to save a child, and the child, if Brewster didn't run out in front of him, the child would have ran out, and this car would have hit the child. He ran out in front of the child. The child stopped, and the car hit him. So he gave his life to save a child's life. And so every time I see the memories come up on Facebook, it kind of eats me a little bit. And this is why I talk about you know the concept of when we miss someone, or one of our, at the end of the day, our pets, as if you want to use that as a word, are literally our furry animals, our furry friends, or our furry babies. Excuse me, our furry babies. And you know the family we get to choose, and they love us unconditionally. So people ask me, do they go to the same places as we do? And yes, they do. Yes, they do. Unlike our families and friends, our fur babies take, equal amount of, if at all, time to get over their loss. You know, I often say to people, you don't get over a loss, you just get used to it. You know, there's no way I'd get over the loss of my mom and dad. It'll never happen. I just become used to the pain of the loss. That's the difference. So, no, but I won't lie to people and tell them that, oh, don't worry, time heals all wounds. No, bloody doesn't. Um, Ours with all 13 years old when they passed, they're very protective. Yes, they're definitely very protective of giving the up. That's a good age, 13. What a wonderful dog. Faye says, yeah, if he's actually got a Facebook page. If you type in Brewster, you'll see him. He's a little beautiful little tan and black. Um, Jack Russell. How amazing to have known such a doggy hero. I'm sure you'll have many. Oh God, he was a nut job, absolute nutter. He had he had this thing where he'd get up in the morning, he'd jump up on the bed, and he would nudge me like that. Nudge me with his nose, like, "Wake up, Dad, wake up." And I'd go, "Yeah, yeah, 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 I'm up." And he'd jump down on the floor, and he'd stand by the door just to say, "Well, come on, then, hurry up, I need food now." So you do that every morning. And then in the afternoon, after we had a walk or something, you'd find him not on the couch. No, 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 that'd be too easy. He would go right up on the back of the couch, where the couch bends over, where you put your neck or your head. And he'd lie there on his back with his paws in the air and sleep. And on occasion, I've actually found him snoring. What a boy. He was just an absolute little star. Wherever I was, he was. And he used to look after the girls as well, Maddie and Maya. Manda says, I miss my tortoise. I rehomed her to a specialist reptile place. They shared a video to me yesterday of her laying eggs. Whoa, perfect. So I know you did the best for her. Yes, I remember meeting your little tortoise once or twice. Amazing, amazing creatures. They're just, well, they are real dinosaurs, genuine dinosaurs. Amazing. Kelly saying that's where my dog takes naps, like, yeah, on his back with his legs in the air. Actually, I got a picture of Storm yesterday on his back with his legs in the air and snoring away. And I noticed that the dogs sleep so weirdly. I mean, they'll just hang their neck in any direction. To you and me, you're looking going, that has got to hurt. But no, they just lie there, their head twisted some weird way, and snore. It's amazing. Right. Anyway, listen, I've got a wee question for you. Where are we time wise? 20 past. So we're okay for a minute or two. She won't be little for long. She gets to 10 stone. Crikey, that's the weight of a person. I got a question for you guys, right? Let's have a discussion. The journey of life. Remember what I said. It's called the journey of life. I'm gonna have to turn on the light because I can't really see. There we go. I've been writing today, so and I write two ways. I write on the computer, but I make notes as well. So when I was writing today, and this is for my new book. Question. Here's the question, right? So pay attention. Sit up in class. Imagine years from now, you're on your deathbed with the last moments of your life coming to you. Your breath is shallow, and you may well be frightened, wondering about what's happening, what's going to happen to you. Suddenly, the room begins to fill with a beautiful light, the beautiful white and golden light, and an angel appears within the light. And the angel offers you the opportunity to go back and live a certain time in your life. So, for one whole day, you're going to be able to go back to that certain time in your life. What would it be? So imagine, you're on the last hours and days of your life. Angel appears in the room, all beautiful golden light, and it says to you, right, as a gift, we're going to let you go back to any particular day in your life, any particular day, and you're going to live that entire time all the way through till now. Um, what would you kind of in knowing about yourself now, in knowing who you are and what all of the experiences you had right up till now, what would you take? What experiences would you take with you that you would change? First of all, when would you go back to? Which part of your life would you go back to? And what changes would you make from that moment to this? That's a very interesting question. Um, so what would you tell your younger self? What would you do? What would you change? So, and living that life from that moment to now, what experiences in that you've achieved would you be able to offset onto your younger self? So there you go. Ronnie says, such an amazing dog. Reminds me of my Pete. He was 15 when he passed. I miss him a lot. Oh, Ronnie. Yeah, I miss him a lot as well. Leonie says, I'm sure I see recently passed cat Sprout, and I feel one. You will, Leonie. They do come back. Just because they're animals doesn't, they're exactly like us. They have the opportunity to come back to us in spirit form, and they do. I still have my tortoise tank. He's amazing, but nowhere as big as Henry. Definitely not. Henrietta was huge. Trudy's just typed in last Saturday. Well, no changes last Saturday. That's a hard one, Paul, says Julie. Hmm. So it's interesting. So what would you tell your former self? Listen, you know, da 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 da. I'm not going to say what I would say because that will just influence you, and then you will want to go, "Oh yeah, I would do that too." No, I want you to consider it. Of course, you'd make changes. Don't say you wouldn't, Trudy and Amanda. No, you would. There are certain things you would tell yourself to watch out for. Certain things that you would say, like, for the better part of it, you're going to be fine. However, da 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 da. You know. So make the absolute most of today and every day. So there's a change already. Don't waste time. You've already sort of endorsed that change. I wouldn't want to survive. I wouldn't want to. I survived so much that experience has shaped me. Even my failures have been a good lesson, says Leona. It's a very confident mind, but there must be one or two things you would say. Just do this, or or don't let this happen. For an example, um, that is the day I truly began to live my life. It's rather just exist rather than just existing, says Dawn. Emma says I would go back to my 20s. What do you mean go back to your 20s? I thought you look about 20. You on about? I looked at life very negatively, and I felt sorry for myself and wasted a lot of time moping about the house. Emma, not just you, all of us. I would say a good 90 to 100% of us did that. That's called a teenage mope. I've got two teenage mopers right now upstairs. One's 16, one's 19. And they like to lie in bed and watch movies or play games on their Xbox or whatever, Gosh, I would go back to the week I fell out with my true love and had wait 20 years for him to go back into my life. I'm not going to bring that up on the screen so everybody can read it. I go back to the year to go back to the week I fell out with my true love and then had to wait 20 years for him to come back into my life. I'd bring the maturity of life experience I've gained to decisions that were made in that week. Yeah, okay, okay. See, me personally, there are changes. I would say, for an example, one of the things I thought about today was I would make far more of an effort to hang out with my dad. I didn't make enough effort to hang out with my dad because I always thought he and I were like chalk and cheese. We were like oil and water. We just didn't mix. But it wasn't the fact that he and I just were not alike. We just couldn't get. It wasn't nothing to do with that. It was the fact that we were very alike. That was the problem. So I would definitely have made more of an effort to spend a lot more time with him. That'd be one of the priorities. I mean, I wouldn't do anything to change um, my girls arriving and my son. I wouldn't do anything at all. Not a single thing in that realm. Um, but some of the things I would say to myself is think think clearer, work harder, and spend more time with your family. That's probably. Faye says, I would go back to the age of 9 when I rode my horses daily, having the time of my life, but I would tell myself to be kinder to self, to really believe in self and not listen to the words of those who were critical. That's very good. That's very good. When people are being criticizing, I always say to people, who in this world is qualified to judge me? Who? Who out there is qualified to judge me? And that's why I have a huge issue with the judicial system, especially magistrates. You're not qualified to judge me because you're only looking at a situation and you're listening to points of view. Okay, that's different. That's not a judicial or a judgment system. You don't know the real truth behind things. You just go, oh, because such and such has put that dot in that place and that T in that place and that comma in that place, they must be right. And well, no, they're not. Okay. There's much more to it. Um, Trudy says, where did that go? Enjoy every minute, says Arfay. This is what happens. See, I go to click something and it moves. Boom. Trudy says, I wouldn't want to make any changes as I'm happy where I am now, and any changes in the past would put me somewhere else. But would it? That's the whole point. You're assuming it would. Any changes in the past may not put you somewhere different than they are now. Your decision making process doesn't. You've been working in the same place for 20 odd years, back when we were teenagers, and so your decision making process may not necessarily put it that way. So think about it. Joe Simpson or Samson, I beg your pardon, says wouldn't go back. My loves, losses, and hardships have shaped me, and my second hobby has shown me how relationships should be. I'm absolutely astounded and brilliant and glad that you have found love. And it doesn't matter if it takes 1 to 22 times, as long as you find it. But there must be something that you would say I would, do to create a better. Like, for example, I want to spend more time with my dad. Things of that nature. Did you not realize this was me, bro? I don't know who me is. You haven't told me. um, I wouldn't go back to when I was 18. I would, sorry, beg your pardon, go back to when I was 18 and tell myself to listen to my gut feeling and don't get married. and go into the education and do what my heart really wanted to, and not what other people were telling me. Yeah, I understand. I understand. And it's not for anybody else other than you to come up with that concept. Um but did the marriages not bring you positives as well? So it's a really difficult one, isn't it? It's a really difficult question, but it's thought provoking, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do thought provoking. See, what I've learned to do is over the last sort of, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years is Colette. No idea why my name's. Oh, Colette. Is that Colette, my sister-in-law? Colette, is that you, my sister-in-law? Um, just tell me, Colette, darling, if that's you, my sister-in-law, absolutely brilliant. It's probably not showing your name to me because you haven't clicked the allow StreamYard bit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this person here is my sister-in-law, my beautiful sister-in-law, Colette, and she's with my brother Paddy. Absolutely fantastic. I tell myself not to trust. Sort off, you cow. um, if you believe we are here to learn lessons, that all of those lessons are needed, good or bad, and yeah, Don, I totally get that. I totally get that. And I want to just 2 seconds. Um, Colette, just I don't know if I can say this out loud. Yeah, I can. I just wanted to say, let me put it this way: how are things? Since because we obviously when we saw you a couple of weeks back, you'd had not a fantastic day. So I was just wondering, hopefully things are going your way. I've kept you in my focus for healing and sending you guys lots of love. Yes, lessons are. I mean, I've told you guys on numerous occasions that in every moment that is perceived as dark, even in the darkest most moments of your life, there's something to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned at the darkest moments of your life. You can come out of it. There's always a tiny dot of light in there, and so that you get it. Um, that you get things right. Okay, so that you come out of that darkest moment. I mean, like for an example, I always relate back to one day when my mom was cooking in our house at home, and back in the days, like I think it was about the late 70s or something like that, and she had the solid plate cooker. Do you remember the metal solid ceramic cooker things? And of course, she'd been cooking, so they were all roasting hot. And of course, I went in like an idiot and put my hand on it and burnt it. And there was a circle burnt into my hand, which took the best part of maybe 4 days to relieve. But what I learned in a horrible situation is don't automatically assume everything's cool. Pay more attention to where you are. So even though it was a hard lesson, it was a lesson learned nonetheless. But what I have learned is to let go, let go of the crap, let go of I always equate it to, imagine you're having a jar, a jar, and there's only so much space in that jar, and the space that's in that jar is your life space, your life energy. So every time you drop something into it, it has to push your life energy out to make space for what you've just dropped into it. So as you're filling that jar up, fill it with only the stuff that's really, really good, the things that you really, really care about, and stop filling it up with crap, because there's only so much space in that jar to be filled. There's only so much room in that jar that you can fill with, you know, fill it with all of the great things. Focus on all the great things in your life. Focus on all the stuff that brings you happiness, brings you love, brings you a sense of joy, a sense of direction. Focus. Fill that jar full of stuff that you can learn from and then teach from. So When you're filling that jar full of crap that really, really doesn't matter, you're just taking up space in your life that you can't get back because when it's in the jar, it can't come out again. So think about it in from that perspective. Progressing on, I will PM you and Johanna. Yes, yes, please, please do, Colette, my darling, please do. Um, and Colette, if you can link on to YouTube and come in via YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and then every time I come on, you'll be told, and send it on to the girls too. Tell them to come see their Uncle Paul. Lucky enough, I haven't had many dark moments. I've been lucky, and I would make sure to tell people that I love them. That's important, Amanda, and make sure you do. So we've just gone past the half past mark. So I've just got to do one tiny little thing, and I'll be right back right after this. You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. Yes, you are. And don't forget that on UPRN, you have a plethora of shows to go and join and watch and take part in. And one such show is coming right after our show tonight, which is the Outer Realms with Michelle and Amelia. Make sure you stick around for that. And don't forget, you of course, coming up tomorrow, you have my dear pals with their show This Mug's For You. Of course, Roger and Faye. So I will stick a wee note out for Roger to come and join us momentarily. But let's keep going with tonight's ideal. So lessons are a very, very important part of our life, and equally the bad lessons, as you call them, as well. You don't know what it's going to like to hurt your knee until you fall over. Then you know what it's like. So you take precautions. In other words, lesson learned. But a lot of people tend to hang on to what I refer to as the sacks of coal. So when I'm doing reads, okay, and I literally see sacks of coal around people, I know they're hanging on to the past because that's what my symbol is. So if I say to them, right, okay, if you've had a reading from me before and you've heard me say to you, right, okay, I have an answer to all of your issues, and they go, okay, what's that? I'm going to get you 2 sacks of coal. And they go, right. And I said, but I want you to carry them with you every single day, morning, noon, and night. If you get up in the middle of the night to go for a wee, you carry both sacks of coal with you and you bring them back and you climb into bed and the sacks of coals are with you. Then you get up in the morning, you go to work, you bring the coal with you, and so on and so forth. And usually they go, no, thank you. And at that point, I say, well, that's exactly what you're doing. All of the issues and problems and situations of the past are in the past, but you're choosing to carry them around. You can't do anything about it because it happened. It's gone. You can avoid the same situations in the future by remembering the lesson. That's different. So leave the sacks of coal in the past and get up and dust yourself off and make a really pleasant start to the beginning of your life, which is going to start tomorrow. There you go. I learned the darkest moments and didn't. I learned the most, says Ardon, in the darkest moments. I didn't realize at the time, but so grateful now. Kelly Durant says, I've seen this with a professor. What's that? Seen? Okay. Kelly, forgive me, my sweetheart, because every now and again I get um so bogged down. Oh, I know. You talking about the jar thing? Yes, 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 yes. I saw that as well. Yes, I saw that as well. I learned it from Tony Robbins first, but that many, many moons back. But I've seen that with the jar. Yes, yes, yes. I know. Unless I'm talking about something different. If you're talking about the jar, the professor, it's good. Forgiving myself for things I can't change and others has been so freeing, says Dawn. Absolutely, just offloading the guilt was an amazing relief. Well, what I found was exactly the same thing, Dawn, but what I also worked really, really hard on was not allowing guilt into my life, not allowing guilt in my life anymore. I say to people, don't bother with the guilt. It doesn't work. I don't associate with guilt. I don't conform to guilt, and I don't rise to it. I always say to people, if you've got something you want me to do for you, then ask me straight. If there's an issue, let's deal with the issue, but do not try and conform guilt to me because it just won't work. Learned a long time ago, says Julie, Julie, to forgive many people. I'm a great believer in karma. Oh God, am I ever? Am I ever? And it's weird that I'm already observing karma playing a huge part. I'm guilty about everything. I need to change that. Well, you're the only person that can change that, Amanda. You're the one that's got to decide. No, I'm not going to allow guilt back in my life. Nope, not going to have it. I don't allow it, and I don't. Um, Lynn says I have a good discussion topic. My friends and I have been talking for children who are sensitive and their parents don't have anyone or anywhere to go for help and advice. Um, yeah, that would be a really good topic. We can look at that definitely as a topic for coming shows. I'm happy, more than happy, to help anybody who has trouble with dealing with the whole concept of development. See, the thing is, I'm a sole wholehearted believer in children are the best psychics on the planet because they just don't evaluate; they just deal with it. They just, as far as they're concerned, the person's standing there and they just chat with the person and they don't give it a second thought. So therefore, they're the best psychics in the world. As a human, sorry, not as a human being, we're all human beings. So you can tell I'm still tired. As an adult with an influx of experience and logic, we have to evaluate the situation. So we're trained and taught to evaluate the situation. And the amount of times that you've been told over and over and over and over is there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no such thing as this, there's no such thing as that, and blah, 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 blah. And then you eventually find yourself starting to evaluate the situation. So I had to literally undo all of those ties, all of those pieces of string and ropes and crossed wires. I had to undo all of those when I first realized that actually I'm supposed to be here to help people reconnect for those on the other side of life. Um, it was difficult, but at the end of the day, done it. Me and Amanda need to chat. No need for her to carry guilt. She's amazing inside out, and shouldn't need me telling her that. Every now and again, though, Dawn, every now and again it helps to hear it from somebody else. It does. I listen to people who say stuff to me, are you aware that you tend to do this? And sometimes I've no idea I was doing such and such a thing. And other times I go, yeah, I deliberately do that. And they go, oh, really? Why? So whatever that is that they tell me, for an example, one of the lads said to me many, many moons back when I turned up for rehearsals, he said to me, Paul, you're supposed to learn these lyrics. I said, I know the lyrics, where the lyrics are and where they go. I said, but I can't learn the song until we're doing it. And he goes, no, you're supposed to know the lyrics without having to look at the words. I said, there's nobody on this planet that doesn't look at the words, mate. But what he was trying to do is employ a level of guilt. And I had to put him straight. Don't try and make me feel guilty. It was back in the days when I was doing a lot of performing, but I was never able to. I could read the words, the lyrics, and I could sing along with the song, and I could go in perfectly, no problem at all. But I didn't learn the song until I was performing it. So it would only just go in when I was performing it. So that's those things. But it's not necessarily the problem. It's how you present the problem and how you present the solution is a big part of that as well. Kelly says that's exactly what I was talking about. Don't fill your jar with stuff that won't matter tomorrow. That's absolutely perfect, Kelly. Could not agree with you more. Absolutely. Connor's joined us. Hi, Connor, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. Um, Where's your mom tonight? I hope she's well. Little Sue, as I refer to her. Um, Amanda, don't give yourself a hard time, love. Don't give yourself a hard time about the situation about the guilt concept. It doesn't. It's not a big problem. It's not a big problem. It's very likely how you were trained. And when I say that, when as a child, you automatically train your children, but we're all trained primarily to protect us. Okay, don't do this, don't do that, don't go here, don't go there, don't talk to strangers. And then they say to you, but be sociable. Don't talk to strangers, but be sociable. How do you work that one out? So, but anyway, the irrespective of what your guidance was as a child, it does have an impact on you. And being an Irish person and brought up under the Catholic faith, we invented guilt. All right, but like I keep saying, I'm a recovering Catholic now. But at the end of the day, guilt has no place in society. Okay, if you go and make your other, the person in your life guilty, you make them feel guilty. Does that actually help? 99.99999 times, it doesn't. In fact, most of the time, it inflames the problem. So, mom is getting a lot better with her back. I'll look after her. You better, boy. You'll have me to chat to. Colette, bring Colette up here. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful sister in law. I've learned over many years to walk away from those who don't appreciate me or mine. I let karma take care. Do you know what, Colette? Spot on, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't agree with you more. There are people that are condescending in your life. There are people who are just down and out, ignorant and rude. And you know what? Do you have you got space in your life for those people? If you turn around to them and say to them, "Hey, listen, I don't appreciate how you talk to me. I don't appreciate what you're doing. And would you mind not doing that?" And then they continue to do it, and then you just don't need them in your life. You just don't need them. I have said to so many people that I literally get rid of what doesn't serve me. And and that might sound harsh and condescending, but that's not what I mean. When I say it doesn't serve me, it means it doesn't bring joy to my life. It doesn't give me an opportunity to bring joy to other people's lives and or help. There are people out there whose just sole purpose is to put everybody else beneath them, and you just don't need those kind of people in your life. You just don't, and it doesn't matter where in your life they fit, or where they come in your life. You just don't need them. Okay, because you cannot live in fear. You cannot live under the tyranny of somebody else being oppressive to you. You just have to live life to the max every single moment of every single day. Enjoy every single moment of every single day. And I've said to you guys a zillion times, if you want to honor the people who have crossed over, then be the best you can be here. And being the best is enjoying your life. Somebody asked me the other day, is there any chance you can give me an idea about where I need to go? And I said, well, what takes you to happiness and what takes you away from it? And they go, well, XYZ. And I said, well, go with what takes you to happiness. What takes you away from happiness isn't doing you any good at all. And another thing that I was speaking to somebody else about quite recently was I said, I just sort of looked at the screen 3 me second there. What did I say? I was talking about, yeah, what takes you to happiness and takes you away from happiness. Oh yeah. I said to somebody who was trying to choose what to do. I said, listen, when you choose a career in your life, when you're going forward towards where you need to go in your life as a career, only choose that makes you happy. Because if you ever have to say these words, I have to go to work, then you're not doing the career you need to be doing. You're not doing the career or yourself any good. Do whatever makes you happy. Okay. If you've got a job that makes you happy every day, you will never, ever work a day in your life because you don't work at something you love. It's automatic. And guess what? The monetarial side, will automatically come because you will always give it 100% because it's automatic. So whatever you do, take it to the max. Enjoy life to the max. And whatever you choose as a career, just do what makes you happy. Do you know, if you, I've often said to my sons and my daughters, if you want to be a bin man and you absolutely love that, then I will back you up. If you want to be a KP in the kitchen and you love scrubbing pots and pans and you love scrubbing the doors and the floors and taking out the trash, and that's what you love, then I will back you up. Okay. It doesn't matter what you want to do, but if you do what you love, I will always back you up. So, I mean, the baby now, she's just chosen her career. So, Amanda, she's going to be competition for you because she's going into hair and beauty. There you go. Um, so everybody's agreeing with Colette, and rightly so. Uh, Connor says, "Stay safe, Paul. I'm off now." Connor, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to be here today. And please tell Mom we were all asking about her. Alrighty. Energy vampire says Don. Oh God, yes. Oh my God, yes, they are out there. These are the people. I call them psychic vampires, and Dawn has called them energy vampires. Same thing. These are the people who come round your house, and when they leave you, you're wiped out. They just sap all of your energy out of you. We call them psychic vampires. They come round and they go, and they just start sucking the energy out of you, and they start whinging and whining about other things and other people and running people down. Get rid of them. There is a technique that I've taught many, many people to do called the reflection technique. So if you do have somebody in your life that's like that, all you do is when they come and talk to you, you go, yeah, yep. But what you're imagining is between you and them, there's a big mirror, okay, like a two-way mirror. In other words, you can see it through it, but they can't. So basically, what they're going to start to understand is they're starting to pick up their own reflection, okay. They may come around two, maybe three more times, but you'll eventually see that they'll stop coming around because what's happening is they're just picking up their own reflection and their own energy, and they'll stop coming around. And it's called the reflective technique. Sandra Sharp has joined us. Good evening, Sandra. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Julie says, "I miss my work so much, and I cared for people." Well, then go back and do it, my darling. Go back and do it. I don't have time for people like that in my life anymore. Says Emma. Good on you, girl. Good on you. I love showing them the mirror. Uh, our similarities are so funny. You're right, Don. Absolutely. Absolutely. The mirror works every time, says Leonie. I had to walk away from a lot of people in my life that were fake. And just, I'm going to bring that up so people can see it. So, because there's a lot of it. Kelly, thank you for sharing that, by the way. I had to walk away from a lot of people in my life that were fake and just like to take advantage of me and my family. Had to do what was best for us. And you know what? You did the right thing, my darling. Absolutely the right thing. Get rid of what doesn't serve you. The two-way mirror I've had to use a few times is Lynn. I use a similar technique I call the mirror bubble. Well, hey, if it works, there's no right and wrong. If it works for you, get in there, girl. Make it happen. Make it happen. Right, we've got 5 minutes to the hour, and just after the hour, I'm going to invite my dear pals, plural, Roger and Faye, to come in. So, right after that, so we're just gotta find one of them. Um, Usually find Faye because she's the one that's switched on. Uh, Roger tends to be a little bit sort of. He's gonna give me grief when he comes on. So I'm going to do the um, the recognition. And oh, there's little Susie Vinicum. I do you know what? Call her little. She's not little at all. But Vinicum, when I love that name, Vinicum. It reminds me of. Do you remember the movie, the Santa Claus or Santa Claus the movie? And he talked about the Vendigump. Is it Vendigump? Vinicum. Little Sue. I refer to her as the Vinicum. So she's Santa's little helper. Sue, hope you're well. We had your son on earlier, and it's great. I felt the good energy from him, and he said he's looking after you, which I'm very, very glad to hear. I put a few names in the freezer just to shut them up. Oh my gosh. I also send imaginary plants and flowers to angry people who approach. That's cool. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. So we're just about on the hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the jingle, and then right after the jingle, I'm going to bring in my dear pal. Uh, well, definitely Faye. I'll see what Roger is. Be right back after this. You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. So here we are back on for the final half hour of the show. If you're listening to me tonight and in the beautiful city of New Orleans, then you were listening to me on FM radio. I do hope you're having a fantastic day. Try taking the time to come off Facebook and come off the FM radio just for a moment and zip across to YouTube and come join us at Paul Francis Medium, and then just come in and literally hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon, and come and watch us on a weekly basis. I was just about to bring on Faye, but she got up and walked away from her chair. Julie says, due to health, I can't make a day today. And my old bosses messaged me asking me to work for them again. It's a brilliant feeling. Listen, my darling, you just do whatever is good on for you. Alrighty, you do what's good for you. Okay, and then, um, if you can do a day here and a day there, and it brings you happiness, then go for it. Go for it. So, so we've got the beautiful Faye, and he's here as well. And you were on fire last night, Mr. Garza.
Oh wow.
Thank you. It was just
You were on
I
fire last
felt
night.
the energy. So
Yeah, it was really, really good. And I literally sat. That was the probably the biggest mistake to switch it on while I was on my bed,
yeah,
because I was lying
well,
down and watching you guys and listening to you. And next thing I know, you were lying on my chest like that when my
Oh.
mobile was sitting. And I was like, I was, I just. But the thing about it is, when you're getting really, really tired, and you think I'm getting tired, my eyes are getting really droopy, and then I would normally say, listen, guys, I'm just going to back out now. I'm going to wish you all the best. I'll see you guys over the weekend. I just went out like that, literally.
That
yeah,
goes
and
to
we were on going. What happened to Paul?
where's Paul? Where did Paul go?
Paul was in La La Land. That's where
Yeah.
Paul was. But it was kind of like I noticed over the last couple of days that all of the build-up of the energies building up to Rosie and Joel's wedding
Oh, I
just
bet.
thump. I just got it. I just hit that brick wall. And of course, we had the dogs, and we had the new. We had Maya finishing school. We had to bring the dogs to the vets for the first time. So it was just constantly like, goom,
Those
goom, and
dogs,
then
those dogs are the
thud.
cutest. They're so cute.
Oh,
I
they're amazing guys. They're
they look
two.
like they're so smart too. I mean, they've got you already figured out,
I have no
don't
doubt.
they?
I have no. Well, the one of them is like he comes up and he goes, "I want food. Get it
Yeah,
for me now." And the other one goes, "Hey, Dad, how are you today? Is there any chance of a nibble?" And he goes, "Smart little git," you know.
that's really cute.
But they are just. They're very, very loving animals. Very, 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 very
Yeah,
loving. They just come up and they'll brush up to you like a cat, and they'll
yeah.
just. Or I'll come down in the morning, Roger, and it's like, wrestling with your kids. So I'll get down on all fours, and then the two of them will start,
Yeah,
wrestling.
that's
And
so
it's like
cool.
so fun. So we got a lot of people listening tonight. On my way to YouTube, says Loretta. Good on you, girl. YouTube is the best place to be, not
Yep.
face ache.
I
Um,
agree.
Hello, everyone.
so
Paul, can
Roger
I make
Garza
an
Senior.
announcement? Paul,
Say again, brother.
can I make an announcement?
No.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I'm going to make it anyway. Go ahead, buddy. Carry on, please. Of course.
Yesterday, everybody was asking me what I saw regarding the submarine. I,
Alrighty.
I
Yeah.
am sad to announce that they found debris, and they were talking about bringing pieces up.
Okay.
So I saw what I saw, and I just didn't want to describe it. That's why I said I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that that debris is maybe
from
of something
something
else.
else. Yes,
Yeah. So I know they brought in very high level military, which
right.
can ping down and find submarines even at the the deepest depths. So let's hope maybe they've managed. Well, do you know what? Please forgive me if this sounds in any way harsh, but I don't think people should be going down uh,
I
to
agree.
I
the
agree.
Titanic. I think it
No.
should be left alone, because in for all intents and purposes, it is a grave site because it
Yep,
was
it's
fifteen
sacred
hundred
ground. That's
people.
what I told Faye.
Mm-hmm.
It's only my opinion on that's all it is, but I think the when they go, I've seen people arrive at the site on the water, and they have a mass, and they throw wreaths into the water. Fantastic, yes, definitely.
Yes,
But going down, that's something completely different. It's starting to turn. I mean, I don't know whether I have relatives down there or not, but I wouldn't want people starting to turn my relative's grave site into
No. A
a
sideshow.
viewing platform. I
Yeah.
mean, there is argument for it, because if you look at the likes of, say, for an example, Elvis Presley,
Yeah.
a lot of people to go and visit him. But if people are going down because they want to visit and they know they've had loved ones who've passed on that ship, that's one point of view. But if you're just going for a sightseeing tour, that's something completely different. You know.
another thing I want to say too. This might sound harsh too. What does a billionaire and his son, a 19-year-old kid, why did they go?
Well, it's because they wanted. I mean, I want to go to space. That's my
Yeah.
goal. My goal is to get up there. And Johanna said to me, you will go," and I said, "I know I'll go. I
But
will
that's crazy.
go outside of this earth and look back." What's crazy about it? It's built into the human being to want to explore. Going down to look at a wreck. I mean, you could say, well, why don't you look at all the other wrecks
Right.
around the globe? Why that particular one? But there's lots of reasons why that wreck cannot be disturbed. There's lots of reasons, and and a great many of those are political, but quite a few of them happen to be legal. Okay, because there's controversy to say that's not actually the Titanic. It was her sister ship, because the Titanic was supposedly not ready to go to sea. So they switched everything, including the name, across to the sister ship. But they tell the difference between the two by a big number that's stamped along the bottom of the ship, and that's why they won't move it, because the real ship will then be revealed.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Oh
interesting.
yeah, if you watch any, there's some great TV shows about the building of the Titanic, because she was built in
Yeah.
Belfast,
Mm-hmm.
and there were two ships, both same size, being built at the same time, and the Lusitania was ahead of the Titanic, but the Titanic had the biggest. Everybody wanted to be on the Titanic. So there, and the other thing was she's left Southampton with a fire. Her Coke stores were on fire.
Wow.
Yeah, but she because I mean, back then it was all about pride, wasn't it? It was about, oh, we've got to get across the
Mm-hmm.
Atlantic at the fastest possible time,
Mm-hmm.
and exactly when we said we are going to do it. So they left Southampton with actually the Coke store on fire. And what does
Wow.
fire do to metal?
Yep,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
melts
Makes it
it.
brittle.
Oh, okay.
And then when you hit
Plus
the
the
cold,
fact, Paul, look at the Hindenburg.
yeah,
Another thing, shouldn't have gone.
well, you know, at the end of the day, there's other ways of saying it. If the Titanic had made it to New York, or the Hindenburg had never had that blown up, everybody been looking at the other question, isn't it? That's the old saying, isn't it? Hindsight's 2020. But I just think that people going down for sightseeing tours is wrong. Please forgive me if you disagree with me. That's fine. But going to see something like the Titanic on a sightseeing tour, no. I thought there was an international treaty of agreement to say that that couldn't happen, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's like the Arizona at Pearl Harbor too.
Mm.
Same thing.
Yeah, people are walking along there. So many. I mean, they still say there's a lot of sailors still inside the hull of
Yeah,
that
They're all in there.
Arizona.
They're
Yeah,
still in there.
and
yet you
people
can
are
walk
looking
along.
down like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, they were looking at a ship, and that's being taken back by nature, isn't it? Because she's rotting away.
Yep.
Right.
I find stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been asked on a few occasions to go and do TV shows over in Auschwitz,
Oy,
um,
oy, oy, oy.
and they've asked me to go along. Would you come along? And there's quite a few times I said no. I'm not doing that. And then I thought to myself, there was quite a few people who'd gone over and they were crap psychics, and they were going there just for no other reason than to boost their name.
Right.
So I thought, well, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say yes because I'm going to go over there and do it right and honest because that's what I
Hmm.
would do.
Right.
And then COVID hit,
Oh,
so it never happened. So but there we
well,
go.
some people should go there. I think that it's okay. You know what? In my view, I think people should go there because there are so many people who, well, there's too many people who say that it actually didn't happen. I can't imagine why they feel that way,
That's
except they
crazy.
want to deny it really happened. It's part of our it is part
That's
of our terrible
history.
history,
Yeah.
and they should know that it should never happen again,
Oh
you
God, it
know.
should never happen. No, it should never
It
happen
And
again.
should
then
never
these
happen
knuckleheads
again.
are trying to take the books out of the Holocaust so the kids do not know anything about what happened prior, you
You,
know?
you can't hide stuff like that.
No.
It's interesting what Dawn just put up here. I have a great university lecture video on this subject. It was the Olympic, but they couldn't claim the insurance, so they swapped them out. There you go.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, there's tale.
This
I mean, the other tale as well is Elvis Presley's grave site. Um, his name is spelt wrong on the headstone.
Oh,
it
jeez.
is?
Aaron is spelt wrong.
Oh,
So
wow.
and his life insurance policy was never cashed.
Really?
So hang on a second. So we've got. So imagine Roger. You come to me and you say, "Hey, Paul, listen, I'm looking after Elvis Presley's grave here. I want you to do the headstone." And I go, "Oh, that's a great honor. Thank you so very much." And I go way off and I type in, Elvis Aaron Presley. I bring it back to you, and you go, "Hey, Paul, you spelled Aaron wrong." And I go, "Have I?" And you go, "Yeah, you have." What are you going to say? I will stick it up anyway, or are you going to go take it away
Oh, I'd
and
say
do
go
it
do it
right?
over.
Yeah, you're going to say, "Dude," but they didn't. They put it up.
Wow.
So there you go. And this
I
is
don't
one
know.
of the reasons why they say Mr. Presley never passed.
Mm.
So, but anyway, that
It's all very
conspiracy theories like this are cool.
Yeah.
But the biggest one that's that wasn't going too well for the Presley organization was his life insurance policy was never cashed
wow.
because
Isn't that
because
something?
it's a federal offense to cash a life insurance policy, and it's an automatic 25-year sentence if you are alive when you cash the policy because it's fraudulent. So and it was never cashed. So
Wow.
there you go.
Didn't know
Uh,
that.
oh yeah.
So do you think he's still alive?
Well, he'd only be in his 80s now.
Yeah.
So that's a well achievable age for anybody of that era who's got themselves together mentally, physically, and medically. It's well achievable. I'm one of the people who will stand up straight and put my hand in the air and say I'm one of the people that does not believe that Mr. Jackson is crossed either.
Really?
Money
No,
buys
not at all.
everything.
There was a strange person at his funeral sitting. How come the king of pop, the world king of pop, is his coffin isn't open for his fans to say goodbye? Um, if and Neverland isn't. For example, they were saying that he was financially not good in a good place towards the end of his life.
Hmm.
All he had to do is open Neverland to the public. They would have paid millions and millions and millions of pounds a year just to come in and walk around Neverland like Graceland, and
Right.
yet that wasn't done.
Right.
So there's just too many variables here to say, nah, there's something up here. And the helicopter, if you watch the helicopter that supposedly took away Mr. Jackson's body, and they put the that trolley thing into the back of the helicopter to the right hand side, and the helicopter takes off. So you're looking at the portal or the window on the right hand side of the helicopter, and you see a figure sit up straight.
Wow.
Huh.
I
Wow.
rest my case, my lord.
So much
MJ
that I
is Dave
missed.
Dave. Dawn, you I am absolutely, totally and utterly convinced that Dave Dave is Michael Jackson. Yes, totally. If
Who's
you go onto
Dave Dave?
YouTube, yeah, go onto YouTube and type in Dave Dave. Not you don't have to do it now, you can do it after the show. Type in
Okay.
Dave Dave and up will come a person who supposedly looks disfigured. Now, Roger, you are a musician, so we are people like us are very, very conformed towards tonality. We know tone. You know, if you're
Hmm.
playing away and the next guitarist to you is fairly well tuned, but one of the strings is just slightly out, you'll hear it.
Right.
It's one of the things that we hear tuned. Now, for me, I'm absolutely with that with voices. I can tell you who somebody is, and I don't even have to be in the same room. Okay, I can hear a voice and I'll go, I know that tongue. That is such and such. And you listen to the vocals. Don't necessarily listen to the idiot that's talking, or don't look. You can look at him because one of Michael Jackson's personas when he was alive, was Dave Dave. He would have prosthetics put on because what's the thing about when somebody has facial scarring, a lot of people look at them and then they look away. They don't stare, you know. So he would go out in public with hats and scarves and disfigured faces so he could go out in public. And then this Dave Dave is now claiming to be, oh yeah, I was a friend of Mike. And listen to the tonality of his voice. It's
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. All
Because he
right.
spoke his
Well,
here.
Michael Jackson at the end was also having trouble monetarily. I mean, he
That's
was,
what this. Well, so they say. I mean, I can't understand how that would be if he owned the catalog of the Beatles. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
yeah.
There isn't a radio station on this planet that doesn't play a Beatles song every day. So the
Sure.
royalties coming in would just be buckets of money. So and he owns supposedly the Elephant Man's bones and blah blah blah, loads and loads and loads of stuff.
Right.
No, he was well. He had big monetary people watching him. So if he went bankrupt, which I just can't see it, Roger, can you? This is not
No,
possible.
not with
Okay.
all the money coming in all the time.
Not constantly coming in. I mean, Thriller is still outselling most albums today. The album
Yeah.
Thriller, it's still outselling, and Off the Wall and all of those great albums that he produced. You know, Bad. They're all still selling, and every
Mhm.
time they release a new format, it sells because people want it. Because it's great music. You know, he was very good at what he did. I mean, he just I wouldn't say as my mom used to say he wasn't too tightly wrapped. You know,
True.
he wasn't just too tightly wrapped. And Pastor Bob says Don. I'm not too sure about Pastor Bob. I don't know what Pastor Bob is, but I will look that up. Be
Pastor
interesting.
Bob for Elvis Presley, I
For
think
Elvis
she's.
Presley, I'd be interested. I'll have a look
I'm
at that.
taking a look at that. I need
Yeah,
to hear
everybody's
more.
going, oh, I'm off because
Yeah,
nobody's
they're all
talking in the
Googling.
chat room now. You see, look,
They-
they're all off looking on YouTube to see if
You're
what
right.
we're talking
Wow.
about.
But you
I
see,
know.
folks, you learn something here on the Paul Francis show.
Yes, you do. We,
The journey of life.
Right.
absolutely.
So,
I do every time.
what did you guys say when I put that sort of you're at the last moments of your life, and an in comes an angel and says, "I'll take you back to any time in your life," and you live from that right through to now. What kind of advice would you give to your younger self, and
Yeah.
what would you change? What kind of an attitude would you change between then and here?
Well, I did
Honey?
answer. I did answer,
Hmm.
but I can answer again. I mean, I remember being very in the present as at age 9. You know, very present with everything I did. I
Yeah.
did not worry about much, but I think things that affected me as I grew older, through high school, through life, a bad relationship here and there,
Hmm.
like a couple marriages that just about destroyed me, tell you the truth.
Yeah.
uh, and I believed those people. I believed that they were right in what they had criticized me about, which was really ridiculous
Hmm.
because why did they marry me in the first place? Why did they think there was something to that? And it took a lot of just getting away from that situation to start believing who I was at age 9 again, and to be kinder to myself and to believe in myself because I had a lot of I think I was creative. I think I loved music. I mean, I did, and I loved just being active. And I had, people thought I was pretty cool. Besides
You,
my,
but you are. Not people thought you are.
well, yeah, and now I feel like I got lucky. I married Roger. I did. I mean, I wasn't expecting
Well,
him to
don't worry,
come
your
along.
luck will change. So, yeah. Um, no, there is that other side of the coin, which I've said as well to many times, to many people many times, is every single step you've taken through your life has led you to this moment.
Yeah,
So
I,
hmm,
yeah.
the only things I would change in mine, like I said, was I'd spend a bit more time with, well, a lot more time with my father,
There.
and I would have taught myself earlier to step up to the plate with bullies earlier.
You
Yeah.
remember, Paul, when you said about the song that I didn't finish?
Yeah.
If I had my way, I'd go back and I would jam with my dad more because he played his guitar and I played mine, and we would jam out,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I'd give anything. There's a song out, it's a while back. It was by Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Right.
If you remember that band,
I
they were
don't, but
from,
I'm probably, I'm a big sort of, I remember the tracks, the songs more than I do the bands on occasion. So,
well, Gary Puckett was a Minnesotan, believe it or not.
mm,
And he did a song called Just to Have You Back Again. And it was about his father
right,
when his
right,
father passed away. And they said it took the longest time for him to finish that song because he would get to a certain part and start breaking down.
yeah, yeah.
And that's how I feel. I'd give anything to have my dad back so we could play together.
Well, like I said to you, I remember, I've always told people that I only allowed to remember certain moments or certain things in reads that are able to help other people. So because 90% of the reads will just go within 2 hours of me doing it,
Yep.
but there are certain moments, and I weirdly enough, I was thinking about the unfinished song, and you just said, "Hey, Paul, do you remember that?" And I was thinking, "Oh my god, he's reading my mind." So,
Wow. I just got
and
chills.
and
Wow.
he just said it. But the weird thing about it is, if you say to Rosie or Brandon, my son, my daughter who just got married, and my son, if you say to them, "Oh, what's Dad's unfinished song?" They'll pick up the guitar and show you.
Oh,
And so when your dad was showing that to me, I heard my unfinished song.
wow.
So that
Now,
was
if
the
we are
link.
not, you and I, Paul, if we're not destined to be with each other, I don't know what it is.
Well,
The spirits
I'm
are
a
telling us that we gotta work. Well, me first, but then you stay backstage while I look at
here's
him.
the thing.
Bite your tongue, buddy.
Here's the thing is but you would oh my god, I wouldn't be able to stand even behind you on rhythm in relation to your ability on the guitar.
Oh, come
Ah,
on.
No, 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 it's not. I'm not a guitarist.
But you are a
I can sit in the
vocalist.
studio and do the guitar, and in the studio, but then I can have 20 takes to get it right. When I'm on stage, if you're doing 12-bar blues, then okay, I can get away with it. Um but if we're doing 3 chord great songs, yes, I can get away with it. But in your ability, no, 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 no. I'm going to stand behind you and go, hey, get on with it, Raj. I'm a good front man. I'm a great front man, in fact. But as for a musician, I'm great in the studio when I have the
Well,
time to
I'm
work on
sure
it.
I'm sure something could be done that would be
but
quite
can you
fantastic.
imagine the power, Paul? You and I on
Yeah,
stage,
yeah, yeah,
you on
definitely.
keyboards, me on guitar, and we're just back and forth, boom, boom, boom.
We'll have a lot of fun. That's what it's all about, having a lot of fun.
Yep.
A lot of fun. I mean, as Johanna said to me the other day, "Do you miss being on stage?" And I said, "Yes, I do. I do miss being on stage and doing shows, but that's not gone. That is a possibility in the future where we can do it. It is. It's not gone out of my life. It's not as if I can't. Although that being said, a year and a half ago, I fell over and broke my left wrist in 2 places and my left arm in one place all at the same time.
Oh, girl.
So holding and gripping is that's. I mean, I can close fist there, but that's far as I can close my left hand, and that's my
Hmm.
guitar hand.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to play these days, but it's possible. Nothing's unachievable.
No.
But yeah, no, we'll definitely have a bit of fun and do some stuff. Yeah, I mean, but
Look forward to it.
oh, we'll have a ball. I mean, the the fun can translate from the music side of things over to our work. You know, because we'll have a great show, a lot very visual. And we'll have a
Yeah.
bit of a ball doing it. Um, Neil says, "Hi guys, sorry I'm late for catching your show." Neil, never apologize. The very fact you've taken any time out of your life to be here is magnificent. Thank you so much. That would be one heck of a POW. I'll bring the pipes. I'm not too sure what type of
Wow.
pipes he's
Pipe.
talking about.
I don't know.
Bagpipes.
Oh,
Oh, bagpipes? Are we
Oh,
talking? Yeah.
Grandpa.
What are you talking about, Don?
well, I tell you what, I actually always vowed I would learn to play the Alan pipes. Yeah, and that's the Irish pipes. And I never really
Yeah.
got around to doing it.
Oh, there's still
Have you
time.
ever seen the show? What's it called? Oh, the Irish. But the famous Irish show that was done on stage, Riverdance. Have you ever seen the show
Yes.
Riverdance?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
The guy sits in the middle and plays the pipes on his own, and halfway
Right.
through the show, those are the Alan pipes that, and
Okay.
you press the bellows in with your elbow, whereas the bagpipes you blow, you press them in with
Right.
your elbow,
Oh, I
and
see.
it's very very haunting sound. And I always said I'd learn. Actually, the guy that appeared in that show is actually a friend of mine, so I always and he does where you go to him for a week or 2 weeks and he teaches you how to play the pipes. So I've always vowed I would do that. So I must get on with it. Really,
Yeah.
pipe suits me better. Powwow.
You and I got to get in the studio
Yeah, oh god, yeah,
and write.
yeah. Oh god, yeah, yeah. And
And
I
we
do
can
love
bounce off each other all day long,
I love my sort of my variation. I think music it should be fused. It should be different
Yeah.
styles from different places.
Yes.
I mean, Peter.
Yes.
When I said to you some time back, I went, I'm influenced by Peter Gabriel. You went, who's Peter Gabriel? I was like,
I remember who he
what?
is now. I remember who he is now. Okay.
Genesis.
Yes.
He was the
But
Yes.
see,
lead
I
guy.
wasn't into that band.
I
No,
was.
but Peter Gabriel. Go and research Peter Gabriel because he is so into music and as not a style. As in fact, he went to Africa and went with people that sort of introduced him to what a beautiful animal called the bonobo ape. But it's well documented that the bonobo ape can actually drum. So
Oh,
Peter Gabriel actually had a bonobo ape drum, and he recorded it to make a song.
Wow.
wow.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Well, I used to play on the kalimba.
yeah. The little ding 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 ding, the
Yeah.
kalimba. And it's amazing with all of the software that I have for my studios that a lot of these really strange instruments are actually coming up now that have been sampled, like the kalimba and various other really unique instruments. Even the original bass, which was a stick and a box and one single chord, where they pulled this tension on the stick
Yep.
and kept that, even that's in there. It's amazing. Um, Neil says yes, the elbow below pipes. Yeah, that's Irish penny whistle. The Irish penny whistle's a bugger to try and play because half the time you play and then your saliva goes into the whistle, and then you breathe in and it goes back in, and you go. Oh yeah, I've seen it happen many times. And the amount of times I've been in bars where out comes the Irish bands and they're playing, and of course, what happens in the Irish bars?
Oh, yeah.
And then you see guys pulling out their penny whistles that are bent like that.
Unreal.
Fun,
How'd
fun.
you do that, Daryl? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But good crack, at the end of the day. It's all good fun. So, one thing I wanted to share with you guys, which I was really, really blown away. You know, those moments when you have a read and you go, and somebody comes back to you and gives you the result of the read, and you go, wow, really? Do
Yeah.
you remember on Monday night I was doing, and one lovely person said to me, "Hey Paul, listen, we've lost our cat." And I kept saying, I keep seeing an L-shaped field. There's a field not too far from me,
Yes.
and it's L-shaped. Well, they
Yeah.
came back, and they're two lovely, lovely people, and they went on to Google Earth and found the two L. There were two L-shaped fields right by where they live. So they went to one L shape. Davy Spillane, thank you, Trudy. They went to one of the L shape. They said there was a lady there, and they said, "Listen, have you seen this cat?" And she said, "Yes, I've seen that cat. It's around." And they went to the second L shaped field and found him.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Oh,
And you guys,
wow.
you guys saw it happen. You were
I
there.
saw, yes. Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh
Oh
my
my
god, that's
God.
amazing." Even I was like, "Wow,
Really?
really?" You know, and all I could just see was a field that went forward and then to the left, and I went, "Look,
Yes.
it's L shaped," or I could have said the number seven shape, but it's L is probably better. And she found both of them, and she went to the first one, got an idea, went to the second one, and there was their cat.
That is
Great.
so cool. And she did the Google Earth first, and then she
Google Earth
found
to
it.
find the
Oh
two
my
fields.
God.
And in my case, I did it for a friend of mine. She asked me, "Can you tell me where my dog is?" And I just bowed my head and I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Your dog's west of your house. It is by the freeway." And as she went west of the house by the freeway, there was a dog dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Too
See,
bad. That
don't
was a
ask
bad.
Roger because it's going to die.
It is
All
a
right,
death.
whatever he's the kiss of
It's a
death.
death. Death.
Honest to God, if you say to
Crows,
Roger, "Where's my
owls.
goldfish?"
I didn't do
Forget
it.
it.
Jesus.
He's.
Oh,
Do you know what
okay,
we're
it's
going to
about
do?
time to sign up, Paul.
See, when I come on tour, I'm going to have Roger come on stage just in a black cape, carrying a big scythe. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Roger. Uh, if he comes to you,
Oh,
sit up
Lord.
straight and put oxygen on. So whatever you.
But can you imagine the fun we will have and
Oh
then
my
the
Yes.
God.
music we can create?
That
Oh,
would be a lot of
boy.
fun. It'll be a lot of fun. A lot of people are talking about the Celtic women. Davy Spillane. Davy Spillane is if you can truly spell his name correctly. If you go into YouTube and type in Davy Spillane, it'll send the hairs in the back of your neck up. He's so amazing with the Elan
Okay.
pipes. Celtic women, beautiful to listen to. You
Yep.
will love it, Faye.
I have
I don't know.
already. I've seen them.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not too sure if it's Roger's cup of tea or not, but I mean, when you listen
Well,
to different styles of music, sometimes you can
get
pull
inspiration
those
too.
inspirations in, and then you can take what you're used to doing, maybe slow it down, add in that ambience of the Celtic music, and you'll get an amazing sound. Um, so I'd be very much no Roger. Do this here. Take that riff you just done again, slow it down a little bit, and then play it over this, and I had a big low synth sound, and you
I'm
Wow.
waiting.
and we're
I'm
off.
waiting.
And put a Spanish twist to it. Just put a Spanish twist to it. That would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, God. No,
Ba-da-ba-da-bum-ba.
no, no, no,
No.
no, no.
Well,
I
get him
used to do
started.
that. I used to do that song live on my shows. I did, yeah. And I
I've
used to
had
sing the
many
Spanish bit of
people
it.
ask me that. Can you
Yeah.
play La Bamba? You're Mexican, aren't you? Yes. Can you play La Bamba? I say, no, but I can play the Liechtensteiner polka.
The Bomba's a brilliant tune. I can't believe we got 2 minutes left. Every time you two come on, it just goes. Whoosh.
I'm sorry. I'll go.
Yeah, that's fine. So anyway, Faye, tell me how things are.
You thought
Neil
you would
says I love
say wink.
Planksty. I love Planksty. Yeah, the Celtic men are pretty fit too. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I'm slightly I'm
Yes, you
slightly
are. Yeah.
I'm burnt, so I feel like I'm puffy at the minute because I'm roasted. Sandra says I have a DVD of the Celtic women in concert. Oh, it's fantastic.
Wow.
Karen Lacoviti, any message? Yeah, get here earlier. We're finished. Um, so we're well. Roger and Faye are back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
Yep.
actually not. I might be around. I don't know. I'm going to Wales tomorrow.
Oh,
No,
fun.
not tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. On
Yeah.
Saturday,
It'd be
I'm
Friday.
going up to
This is
Wales.
Friday. This is. Oh, this is this
This
Friday?
Right.
no, this
This
is
is
Thursday. What are you
Thursday. We're
looking at
not
the
on
ceiling for?
tomorrow. Hello.
Is your office that cool that you got the name of the day written on your ceiling?
Yeah.
So that's and that's when you people. I've seen people and you say to them, "Are you going on holiday this year?" And they look at the watch. Yeah, that's a cool. What tells you when you're going on holiday? So they. So no, I'm going to Wales on Saturday. Staying overnight and come back on Sunday.
Okay,
But anyway, that's this. Just Johanna and I. We're going up there. But
Oh,
cool.
so I may be around to jump in and say hi to you guys. If I am,
Saturday.
I definitely will on Saturday.
That'd be
So
cool.
make sure that you join Roger and Faye for this Mugs for You. What time, guys? You want to tell everybody now?
10:30 a.m.
Central
Central Time.
Standard Time.
Central Time, 11:30 Eastern Time, and UK time is
4:30.
4:30.
4:30. 4:30.
4:30 in the afternoon for us here in the UK.
Yes.
So make sure you guys
Join us.
hang out with Roger and Faye on this very station on Saturday. Right, we have gone 1 minute past the time, so we'll no doubt have Michelle screaming down the phone at me in any moment now.
Okay.
But they do say we have 5 minutes grace, so I'll take that 5 minutes and say good night to everybody. Thank you so very, very, very much for all of your lovely, lovely messages about Rosie and Joel's wedding. I really genuinely appreciate it. And thank you to my dear, dear friends Roger and Faye for coming on the show as they always do. And it just makes it such a laugh to be able to do this and have a lot of fun.
Yep.
And listen, I'll see you guys all on Monday night, all being well, fingers crossed, and I make it to Wales and back, and we'll have a ball. The only day I've got off this coming week is Sunday, so I'll be driving half of that. So
And I
there we
got to
go.
play on Sunday.
And you got to play. Well, you gotta get Faye to go in there with Facebook Live and let everybody see you playing live.
We did it already. There's some on there.
Well,
I'll
this
do it again.
let's do
I'll
it.
do it.
Let's do something. Anyway, Roger Garza Senior. Bonsoir, bienvenue, and Faye, my darling.
My darling.
So nice. See you.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Actually, that's where my lovely, beautiful daughter and son-in-law are. They're in Italy right now.
Fun.
Oh, wow.
That's
I was
awesome.
there.
Have a fantastic night, afternoon, evening, you two, and everybody else that are listening to us around the world, around the globe, and listening to us on FM radio. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Thank
Bye.
you.
Love you.
You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com.